Just talk to me about the experience of making your Octagon debut and the fight itself.
Well, I mean, the experience was like none other. An adrenaline rush like I've never felt before. It's a dream come true, something you've always dreamed about as a kid, wanting to step in that octagon, with the letters on the mat saying UFC. And, I finally accomplished my dream. I got one step closer to making it to where I officially want to be, which, of course, one day I want to have a title. But, stepping in the cage was awesome. And, I mean, definitely, stress, a little bit of pressure. You want to win your first fight. You want to show that you belong there. And on top of it, I had my undefeated record at stake as well. And as far as the fight, I mean, I felt great. One of the best, best weight cuts I've had, like in any of my fights. Short term, as far as training. So I only have 3 months to get ready. But I don't use that or anything as an excuse. As far as the fight goes, Steven Siler came in, and he did exactly what he had to do. He fought hard. But I've never been cut before, and, I got cut in the first minute of the fight. Started bleeding in my eyes. Never experienced that before. It was very hard to see throughout the fight. I started throwing, a couple of swings wildly, and I ended up catching him in the back of the head. Kind of buckled him for a little bit, and, as a reaction, like every fighter should do, he shot in, took me down, regained everything from that. And then from there we continued to work. On the mat, blood went into both eyes at that time, so very difficult to see. And I just, went by feel. I'm a great wrestler, so I didn't really need to see as far as, that goes. I just worked off of my instinct. And through the heat of the moment, I started, getting nervous because I seen so much blood. I knew the cut had to be bad, and I figured the ref was going to stop it soon, have the doctor come in and check us. 2 fights before me, I don't know the guy's name, but it was one of Frankie Edgar's guys. He was cornering him. So 2 fights before me, he had gotten stopped. The ref called the doctor in. The doctor checked him out and called the fight. So that was in the back of my mind as soon as I started bleeding. So I started panicking, started rushing. I didn't fight my fight, and then when he got full mouth on me in the first round, I ended up reversing him and, working for kind of like a takedown, even though I was on my knees, to put his shoulders on the mat so I could start working my ground and pounds. And I left my head on his hip instead of putting it, in his chest.
Sure.
Which is something we trained very repeatedly through this training camp because we know he's a guillotine guy. He went for 3 guillotines throughout the whole fight. I got out of the first 2. But then that last one, in the heat of the moment, I was rushing. In my mind, all that was going on was I got to get a knockout or submission because they're going to stop it. Or if it does go the distance in the first round, they're not going to let me go to the second round. So, I panicked. I wanted to win. I didn't want to lose, especially by stoppage. So, in the heat of trying to reverse him and get on top of him, I left my head where it shouldn't have been. I lost my cool. I rushed things, and he threw on the guillotine, high elbow, jumped my shoulder with his legs to lock me up, and, he sunk in it deep. I fought for about 10 seconds, and I had to tap.
After the fight was over, you were backstage, you took a picture, and this picture has made it all around the internet, dude. Just talk about what the circumstances of that picture were. It looked like some Frankenstein shit, dude.
Yeah, well, that was after the fight. That was the next day when I woke up and I was getting ready to leave the casino. That was the next day, yeah. I was getting ready to leave the casino. I mean, I didn't sleep well that night at all. I went to the hospital to get the CAT scan because they wanted to, check just for safety precautions. And then I got the stitches. They sent me back to the casino afterwards. I, watched the rest of Frankie Edgar's fight in Gray Manor upstairs in my room. So I didn't want to see nobody. Didn't want to talk to nobody. I held my emotions in after the fight was done. But, I mean, once it was all said and done, I was just very upset. Overall, including my amateur career, I've had, I've had 14 fights, and now I lose my first fight. I mean, it's tough, something I never experienced before. So, I got my stitches. I stayed in the rest of that night. And then the next morning, I decided to take a picture, let the fans see, what actually happened. Because, of course, watching the fight, you could see all the blood. But once I took that picture and I posted it, everyone was like, wow, I didn't know it was that bad. So, I just wanted to let the fans know, listen, I fought as hard as I could. I mean, I was definitely blinded. It wasn't no little cut that bled a lot. It was a big cut that bled a lot. So I just wanted to get that out there to the fans, just to let them know, I tried for you guys, and I really tried working through it, but being blind and also, with the pressure, like I explained before, first UFC fight, you know, you don't want to lose your undefeated streak, and you feel that sense of urgency. And, you know, I wasn't scared. I just, that sense of urgency just set me off my game because I felt I had to do something, take drastic measures. I just, you know, I felt that urgency. I started fighting into maybe his game. I didn't, you know, fight my game. I didn't follow, you know, what I was supposed to do. And, I mean, it's a learning experience. As Faraz told me, you know, afterwards, he said, listen, champ, he said, you know, you can't win them all, which is number one. You know, all the greats have lost. You know, there's too many ways to win and lose in this sport. And, you know, something like that, when you get cut and you feel that urgency and you can't really see and there's something, you know, really affecting you, you can't train that in the gym. You know, you just have to live through it. You have to experience it because you're not going to get cut in the gym like that. You know what I mean? So, you know, he gave me some encouraging words, you know, told me we're going to train hard once I'm all healed up and ready to train, get back at it, and, you know, get ready for whatever the next fight may be, which I'm definitely motivated and determined to get back to training. I mean, I want to train right now, but, you know, I got to wait till everything heals up. So, I mean, as far as the picture, like I said, I just want to take a picture, let everybody see, you know, what the aftermath was, and show them that it wasn't no little cut. You know, it was pretty serious cut, 12 stitches, and 2 of them were internal because it was so deep. So, you know, I just wanted to let the fans know I was fighting for them out there.
We tried doing an interview, but it didn't quite work out before the fight. So I'm not sure what your stance on Octagon jitters were, but did you feel them?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel him. Like I said, I'm not taking nothing away from Steven Seiler. He's had a lot of fights, 30 fights. He's an experienced guy, tough guy, and I knew he was going to be a tough fight going into the cage. You know, so as far as jitters, I felt him. I'm not going to say I really felt him because of Steven Seiler. I think I felt him more so because it's a big stage and it's a dream. You know,
Exactly,
it's like
man.
You know, you meet someone, you know, like a celebrity, say, who you've idolized since you were a kid, and when you meet him, you know, you're an adult, but inside you're feeling like a kid, like you're melting down. You can't believe you're actually meeting this person, and that's kind of how it felt when I stepped into the Octagon. But the first minute, I was doing great. You know, I landed the first strike with the inside leg kick, then I landed a couple combinations. I mean, I was feeling great. I was in and out, moving the way I wanted to, being he was a little bit taller and stuff. And then, you know, once we clinched up against the cage, I tried to work for my takedown, and he, you know, slipped away from me and got that knee in. And once the knee was in, you know, it wasn't downhill from that point, but when the blood started leaking the way it was, then it was downhill from there because I kind of, you know, panicked, not in like a sense of I'm hurt, but in a sense of, wow, they might stop this fight. So I felt I had to push the pace and try to do something before, you know, they stopped it or the round was over. So, I mean, you know, I'm not going to use no excuses, whether it be jitters or the cut or, you know, 3 weeks training, short notice. You know, all those things are, you know, kind of pending against me. But I'm not going to, you know, use any of that. He was the better man that night, and he came in and he did what he had to do. You know, he got the cut on me early, and he took advantage of it, just like I would have if it was him. So, you know, I give him credit. But in the future, you know, I plan on proving myself to the UFC and to my fans and everyone around the world that I do belong here when my next 3 fights are my contract. And who knows, maybe get a fight with Seiler down the road. That's definitely something that I would want to do. And, you know, avenge my loss, of course. First loss. And, you know, I get on a hot streak in one of my next 3 fights. Maybe he loses one. Maybe we can match up again, and that's probably a fight that I'm sure all the fans will want to see.
Okay, man, and is there a commitment from the UFC to, like, we know they hand out long-term contracts, but sometimes they'll cut a guy, but you came in on short notice, so you did them the favor. Have they said anything when you might be getting another fight, or that you're guaranteed another fight?
Well, yeah, I'm definitely guaranteed another fight. That was,
cool.
Yeah, that was established before the fight even took place. So they told me regardless of the outcome, I was getting another fight, you know, win or lose. But like I said, backstage, you know, everyone was complimenting me, telling me they need fighters like me in the UFC, guys who are going to push the pace and come hard, try to finish a fight even when they're down and out, you know, cut like I was. They said a couple of guys will try to run away or try to outlast the round because then they know if they are to lose, it'll get called. And it doesn't look that bad on their record or to the fans. Me, I try to just, you know, push the pace and put him on his back, work my ground and pound, which I'm very good at. And I wanted to rip his head off. I wanted to, you know, put him to sleep and win this fight because I felt the urgency to do so. So they said, you know, they're very happy with my performance. I'm a very tough fighter, and it was just a tough break. You know, they took into account it being my first fight in short notice, and I got cut so early in the fight. So I got a lot of good things. You know, I guess there's a lot of good things that came out of it, even though I did lose. But everyone's going to lose, like Faraz says, and it's only going to make me a better fighter, a stronger fighter, more determined. I'm going to train harder, you know, so some of my training partners might not like me in this next training camp, but,
Right.
you know, I mean, I'm pissed now, and, you know, when I'm pissed, you don't want to fight me, so, you know, I'm going to focus hard on the next training camp, get in the best shape I could possibly get in, really utilize the time that I have, focus on who the next opponent is, and, you know, go in and do work, because now I have to prove that I belong in the UFC. That's just my mentality. That's how I feel. You know, this first fight was like, yeah, you know, it's a chance to prove it, but now that I lost, now I have to prove, listen, guy, I really do belong here, and this is what I really am capable of. You know, cut or no cut, this is who Joey Gambino is, and that's what I want to prove in this next fight.
Okay, so that week you were in Atlantic City for this fight. What moment stands out the most? What moment will you take away from the half a week or whatever, you know, the weigh-ins and everything, the fight? What moment stands out in your mind about your first fight?
What really stands out the most is how supportive my fans were after the fight, because I remember walking into the lobby from my hotel room late that night to get some food because I was just so hungry. I was in the hospital for a couple hours waiting to get stitches. I got back to the hotel. I watched the Gray Maynard fight with Guida, and then I just took my shower, relaxed, and just, you know, I was in disbelief, and I was really feeling down. And then I walked downstairs to go see what's still open to get something to eat, and there were guys just standing out there, a couple of kids too. And once they see me walk out, that's Joey Gambino, you know, something I've never experienced before. Now I'm at this level. And they just came running over to me asking if I'd sign their autographs, and I fought such a tough fight. They can't wait to see me fight again. I mean, one kid actually took his shoe off so I could sign it.
Nice, man.
So, you know, that really felt good. It kind of made me feel a little bit better inside, even though I just lost that night. But it showed me that there are true fans out there, and people do realize that, you know, when the cut happened, I was at a disadvantage, but I still tried to fight. And, you know, like I said, just like when I posted the picture, I just wanted to let the fans know I was still fighting for them. I still tried to push forward, you know, but, you know, shit happens, I guess, and you learn from it, fight through it, and it won't happen again, I assure you that. And if it does, I'm going to remain calm the next time, because I'll know it's better to stay calm and focused and try to work on what you're going to do than, you know, rush too much and get caught.
Okay, man, in a week and a half here, we got a big UFC main event. Give me a prediction. We got Chael Sonnen versus Anderson Silva, too.
Well, I'm actually going to be at that fight live, and one of my teammates, Ivan Menjivar, is fighting that night. So my prediction on that fight is Ivan, of course. You know, I'm really rooting for him.
Yeah, we actually interviewed him earlier tonight.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be fighting that night, so I'll be there that night, because also I'll be signing autographs at the Head Rush Expo that Friday and Saturday. And then, of course, the following Monday is the UFC Summit, so I'll be in Vegas for a week. But, you know, Chael Sonnen, he comes from a wrestling background like I do. You know, Anderson Silva, you know, he's one of the greats. I mean, that's hands down. Nobody can argue that. But, I mean, it was an amazing fight. Their last fight, very exciting, especially for, you know, Chael to take him down and beat on him the way that he did. Even in the stand-up, he had an advantage for some reason. And you wouldn't think that in the last fight with the way he landed his strikes and his takedowns, how he set it up. So this fight, you know, as long as everything goes good and he doesn't get accused of using anything or whatnot, I mean, I would like to see Chael walk away with it, because, I mean, the guy cracks me up nonstop with his remarks and, you know, just the way that he is, his personality. It's really, you know, something that attracts the people and attracts me. He comes from a wrestling background, and, you know, he really took the fight to Anderson last time, so I'm hoping he could do it this time, and, you know, it'll be a great show. But I'm hoping Chael wins, you know, but I think this time it's really going to show who is actually the better fighter, you know what I mean?
Okay, do you want to thank any of your sponsors throughout your Twitter or Facebook?
Yeah, you can definitely follow me on my Twitter, Raging Warrior, and also on my Facebook, just Joey Gambino. We got a website coming out soon. It's theragingwarrior.com, so that'll be up very briefly. And then as far as sponsors go, I'd definitely like to thank my management with Mitch Mayberger, all my trainers, Faraz Zahabi, Buddha, Muay Thai, Jonathan Chambers, Ron Darnley from New York, TriStar Gym, all my training partners who've helped me get to this level, and all my sponsors, Head Rush, Adrenaline Tattoos, Project Infinity, and all my hometown sponsors. I'd like to thank everybody.
take care of that cut. Hopefully we see you back in the cage very soon and we can talk to you about it.
Yeah, definitely. Probably about November, December, I think.
Okay, cool stuff, man. Talk to you later.
So, thanks a lot, brother.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye.